a Commonplace Book. So this is my Commonplace binder. Alright, hello and welcome to the Postgrad Year. Today we're going to talk about Commonplace books, and yes, my version is a binder. So we're going to put this down for now. So the Commonplace Binder 101 playlist. Obviously this is number 49 of 100 videos. That's this video. That's the next video. We're going to go through these one column at a time, and that'll be it. So a Commonplace book, what the heck is that? Well, a Commonplace book is basically what people used before computers for storing information of any kind. So some people have scrapbooks or albums or just Pinterest or, you know, Wikipedia. It was kind of everything. Like, it was the to-do list, it was the quotes. Now, some people say it was only one specific thing. Like, for example, it would be a quote of something from like a religious text. Maybe somebody was reading the Bible because that was the only book that they had, and they wanted to take notes on it. Basically, instead of marking in the book, they would mark outside of the book. And so they would take the passage, write it down, say where it came from in the book, and then have another thing below it, or to the side. Either side, doesn't really matter. And then would say their thoughts about it. And that's about it. Now, it can be a lot more complicated than that. I'm going to pick up the binder again. This is in some ways not really a true commonplace because content section, no index. Now the reason for that is because I'm using a binder which has rings, so the things can come out and they can go back in. The index would normally go in the back, sometimes it would go in the front. Maybe it would go in the middle, probably not. that would be the worst idea. And so because my stuff moves around, I don't keep track of the page numbers because the stuff moves around. So the page numbers would not be in the same place. And I simply write the stuff down on the contents page, on the tab, and on the top of the page. So that's how I know which section I'm looking at. And then whenever I take something out, I cross it out from the front. Well, not this page, but the contents, which is the first page and the page after that. And whenever I get rid of a contents page, that happens because I crossed out everything on it, and, you know, I will add when I need to. Anyways, we're like 2.5 minutes through, so I'm going to set this down. We're going to talk about small daily improvements. So a really small daily improvement you can do is just, well, get your chores done, you know. Like when you're waking up, maybe make your bed, but also, you know, brush teeth, get dressed, maybe use the bathroom, charge your phone, get all those little things done. And so small daily improvements, you could just make sure that you get one more thing like that done every single day, and you won't need a Commonplace book because you'll just be making the improvements anyway. But if you've already made those improvements, or if you want to try and figure out a new system for making those improvements, you could just get a binder or a book, start writing stuff down, and make small daily improvements. Less scrolling. So if you are spending all your time in a book, because this does sound a little time consuming, you're gonna have a little bit less time for scrolling, which means when you scroll, you're probably gonna be a little bit more deliberate. And so you might actually enjoy it more because it might be you watch YouTube Shorts or TikTok or something to turn your brain off. And then if you actually want to think, you might open up a long-form YouTube video or Netflix or, I don't know, an audiobook or something, and take notes on that. And then the notes can go in your book or binder. I would say binder, just because you might find that some of the stuff, it wasn't actually that good, or it's in the wrong place, and you can't really move it around in the book. And so I think it's just a lot better to use a binder. Chapters of life. Maybe you're in a chapter of life in which you can't carry a binder or a book because you're just wandering around. And in that case, I think you might be better off having little audio recordings or like a hand-sized notebook. I'm not talking about one like the size of a computer screen. I'm talking about one like the size of your phone, maybe. And so what you can do with that is you can write the stuff down when you're wandering around, and then when you get home, you can put all the important stuff in your book or binder. Or maybe you'll just type it out. I don't know. No, we skipped this. I think I did this a few videos ago. I just skipped the thing. Pastel Consumerism. So on YouTube, you'll probably find a bunch of videos where the things look super pretty, and you're supposed to buy it. Buy the stickers. Buy. Now, some people have been talking about, like, de-influencing, or it's a no-buy year for 2025. I don't know about that. We're always buying stuff, and even when we're not supposed to be buying things because we're supposed to be conserving energy or whatever, it might be, if you're going to grow your own food, you might have to buy your own seeds, or you might have to figure out where the people who give away free seeds are and go to them. But, like, you might need a computer or a phone or other consumables to be able to do that. So, yeah, Pastel Consumerism. Do you need a super fancy binder or book or notebook? Do you need to cover it in stickers? Probably not. Although if you're part of a group or club that always does that, you might kind of need that, because otherwise they might be a little hostile, and if they're not friendly, then, well, you're probably not going to get the best information out of them. Just because when people are a little agitated or feel like they're being threatened, they're not always going to be the most helpful. So now we can finally get on to the essentials. Are the essentials that everybody is the most friendly and helpful all the time? Not necessarily. I don't know. Maybe you're going to treat everyone like customers rather than normal people, because they're just taking up all your time. That can get really annoying. Yeah, so essentials, kind of mentioned that earlier. When you wake up, maybe make your bed if you're going to make it. When I had a cat, the cat used to crawl around in the bed sheets that weren't, totally put back together again. And that was kind of fun. And sometimes I would take a little nap with the cat. But now that I don't have a cat anymore, I just kind of make my bed, because otherwise I won't make it. So, wake up, make the bed. That's one thing. I don't know why I did one with a thumb. That's more of a thumbs up. Good job. Visible errors. So, when I didn't make my bed, it would feel like a visible error. Like, because it was visible, and it felt like an error, because I knew I had to make my bed at some point, and I didn't do it. So it was much better to do it earlier rather than later. And so it might be, for your small daily improvements, you're not necessarily going to need to add things, but you might just need to, like, remove the things that are causing the problems in the first place. And so those things might be really small. It might be, I just have clutter all over my room, and it's like, why do you have clutter all over your room? It's like, well, because when I come back to my room, I put all my stuff in this one spot on my desk. Put a box there, or a tray there. And when you have your items, you put them in the place. And so now you just have a place that you put your stuff. Like, it's kind of thinking about the problem differently. Like, the problem is the solution in that case. And it might be, if you have a binder, the reason why your index isn't working is because the index is kind of unnecessary. It's it's just too much. Relaxed lifestyle. So maybe the thing that you need to do is do whatever you're normally doing, but find a way to, like, relax about it. And now, there's almost nothing I dislike more than being told to relax, just calm down, it's fine. When it's not actually fine, I go a little crazy. So maybe the way to relax is just make it more fun. So find the awful things, have somebody else do those. I don't want to deal with that. Oh, man. Overloaded. So why am I feeling overloaded right now? Well, I haven't been having other people do my things. Like, right now, it's the middle of March, and I want to get my taxes done before April. I would prefer to get them done in January, but, all this stuff isn't done at the beginning, so I gotta wait until a specific time, and then I'm the one that has to put in the information, because that's, I'm American, so I gotta do the American tax thing. In some countries, they just push, like, 2 buttons. It's like, I'm doing this. Confirm. Or at least I'm told that. It's probably a little bit more complicated, but, like, man, I don't want to track down all the forms. Ugh. I feel like they have them already. Established habit. Is it an established habit to do the taxes every single year? Well, I mean, I have been doing them, but like, you know, a habit's not really done like once a year. At least not according to most definitions I know. But we're talking about a tool to improve your attention and focus. So how does any of this relate to that? Well, if you're doing less scrolling, and the scrolling is taking away your focus, that might be helpful. Also, you know, let's go back to the beginning. A Commonplace Book might introduce you to other people who do commonplace stuff, which means you're going to be interacting with people who, in some ways, might have a little bit less of a pulse. Like, they might be very calm and collected and take lots of time and do everything intentionally. And no, probably not. Maybe. Yeah, small daily improvements. Your attention will probably get better with time if you're doing a thing to improve your attention. Less scrolling, kind of talked about that. I selected it again. Chapters of life. If you think about your life as chapters, like before this thing, after this thing, in this year, it might be that, you know, you organize them with the taxes. Before taxes and after taxes. I'm not really sure how that would help your attention and focus. So maybe you will remember things better, and when you're remembering things, you're not going to be as anxious, and so not being anxious will help your attention and focus. I don't know, that's a little bit of a stretch. Pastel Consumerism, maybe not actually including all of the special colors and items will make it less distracting. It could also be that you need more stimuli all the time, or stimulus, or whatever we're looking for. Maybe we're looking for a stimulus check. That might be fun. Essentials. If we receive extra money for no reason, maybe we can actually buy all the things we need to buy. No. We're not trying to get political here. Visible errors. That would be a very visible error. So attention and focus. What are the essential things? For me, noise canceling headphones. That way I can record it any time of day. And, you know, if there is an interruption, it won't be as bad as it would be otherwise. Relaxed lifestyle. How does the attention and focus get affected? Well, whenever I have extra thoughts, I write them down in the Commonplace Book. I mean, that's, you know, commonplace binder, but write the thoughts down. I don't have to deal with it. Except I consider a Commonplace Book or a Commonplace binder to be more of a training tool for digital devices and stuff. So, like, I do most of my stuff digitally, and you might be like, oh, well, this guy doesn't use his own system. That's bad. I use my own system for well over 9,000 pages. I don't think it was technically 10,000, but it was like 9,950 pages. Something like that. So, it was a lot. Relaxed lifestyle, overloaded. Yeah, overloaded. That's kind of what was going on when I was like, oh my gosh, I've almost got 10,000 pages. Established habit. I am trying to build the established habit of making these videos. Does my tool assist with that? It kind of does. So I'm going to pick up the binder again. In here, these things are the 100 categories for this playlist. So we're looking at number 49, which means that is attention span. So, attention span. There we go, part of the title. And because my attention span is a little bit all over the place, wearing a headset can actually help with that, because there we go. So what I did is I just restored the light sources. And the way I did that is this is connected to my computer, and my two additional light sources are my two monitors. So I'm going to turn this off because apparently I had left it on by accident. There we go. Attention freefall. Am I losing you right now? Are you getting a little distracted? Are you like, this man is talking about his headset constantly? It's kind of crazy. Fundamentals. We're distracted. So how does the tool help with the fundamentals? Well, it should allow you to pause. So if what I was doing, that thing, was a little uncomfortable because I wasn't talking, maybe it would be good to have a full 1 minute every day where it's intentional silence. So I'm not saying to like meditate. You don't need to buy like a yoga mat and have 1 hour of meditation every single day, even if it cuts into your 6 hours of sleep because you're working all day every day. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is like, maybe it's good to sometimes take a breath. And if you have a book which goes slowly, that might help with that. Although it could also be that you take a breath and everybody else kept swimming. You're gonna lose the race. Probably not. Never completed. Is this video ever gonna get there? This is over 16 minutes long. We're gonna get there. And the book's gonna get there too. All you gotta do is add a single sentence per day for a year, and then 2 more years. And so if you've done that for 3 years, just written a single sentence every day, on average, even if you took like a month off per year, you could take off, yeah. That's a lot of time. You would have 1,000 sentences. Even if you only wrote 1 sentence per day and you took off like half the summer. What? And so what that means is this might never be completed, but you will make a lot of progress. And so it might be, while you're making the progress, you realize that the end goal is not actually really where you need to go. It's not necessarily achievable, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because, if your goal is like, to have what the peasants lack, and you're like, I must be a billionaire, it's like, maybe a millionaire will get you all the things you actually need. Now, it could be after this video came out, we hit like hyperinflation or something, and, 1 loaf of bread is $10,000. No. I don't think so. Too much stimuli. Maybe you're constantly overstimulated with everything. And it's like, bread? Bread? Is this bread tube? All this for a loaf of bread? Where are we going with this? No, we don't need to have this stuff popping all over the place. I feel kind of weird, though, because I don't have music for these videos, and I feel like everyone that has more views than me on the subject has music. So it's a little weird that the music is missing. But yeah, how do you feel about this? Too much stimuli? Not enough stimuli? How are these videos going? Increasingly sophisticated, of course. Yeah, we're getting better. Look, I have a fancy cover now. That's nice. It used to be a blank sheet. Actually, if you go all the way back to the beginning, back in like 2023, when I was pretty depressed, you can see the videos where this was empty, and I would just like fill it in a page at a time. This is my demonstration binder, by the way. I don't know if I've made that clear recently. This is the first of a set of 16 that I'm recording, so I'll be recording 4 today, 4 tomorrow, 4 the day after that, 4 the day after that, assuming I can stick to the schedule. But my voice is already starting to go, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I had too many cookies. Integrated in a week. In a week? Yeah, so while I do think it'll take you years, if not decades, to actually get this to the point where you think it's good, I think you can pretty easily integrate this in a week into your daily workflow. Because, like, even if you're just on your computer, all you have to do is have an extra Google Doc or a Note Doc on your computer and update it. Like, that's really all you gotta do. And to make it even better, you could add a date to the top. So I prefer, well, if I'm using a Google Doc, I will include the day. But if you're including like physical stuff, no. I just say like month, year, project name, because like I know I'm gonna keep working on it, and even if I don't, I want to know when I was working on it. So like it's not really necessary to have the day. If you're keeping track of medication and doses, obviously you should probably write that down. But if it's like your imagination space, you probably don't need to write out like, I thought of this at 3:15 a.m. on a Tuesday. Wow. Increase duration. So I'm trying to make these videos a little bit longer, but this one feels a little bit drawn out. But like I said earlier, it's because it's the first in the set, and, well, it takes a little bit of time for me to get started. So, yeah. If you can focus for like 2 seconds, maybe you can focus for 3 seconds. Even if that takes you like a month, if you can increase your focus by a single second once per month, you get more than 10 seconds per year, which means in 6 years, even if you lose some seconds at some point, you're going to gain another 50 seconds. Like, you'll get there. Don't worry about it. Demonstration. Once again, this is a demonstration binder. Look at that. So I've got my little tabs at the top. Might be more fun to see them move from the side. There we go. I don't know what to do with that. Remember, the video that's out right now, that is the most recent, I think is like number 16. So, I don't know what's going on. Days in my life. Am I just chilling? Are these just days in my life? Vlog videos? Well, I'm not really going anywhere, so I'm not really sure if it's a vlog. Yeah. I don't know. You could write down things that happen on different days in your life. You could treat it more like a journal. Because the thing is, if you don't get started, it doesn't really matter what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I only want to do it if it's perfect. Well, this is about grabbing scraps and turning them into something. So, if you're not willing to start with the scraps, what are you doing? It's like, I refuse to run until I know how to walk. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But if it's like, I refuse how to walk until I learn how to run, it's like, what? You know, because even if the walking only takes 30 minutes, like, you probably still need to walk before you run. ASMR. So I'm sorry to disappoint anybody who is just here for the sound. Actually, we could check the sound by getting closer to... Oh, I just realized the floor is probably super loud, because this is an incredibly creaky floor. But yeah, ASMR. I don't have a special mic. This is, that's my phone camera. That's where the talking bit goes. There's no attachment. That's just where I talk into my phone. So yeah, I don't know. I got some comments about this. It shows up in a lot of Commonplace Book videos. Not necessarily mine, but other people's titles and stuff. I don't think I really want to do that. But, you know, if like 90% of the people are like, only ASMR, then I guess I'll do a video on that. But like, no, I'm not doing that. So yeah, Focus with a Paper Assistant is up next. This one was on attention and focus. I hope this helped in some way. Maybe this was just a friendly thing to listen to. I don't know. So, thank you for watching, and hope I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.